Welcome to What's Pissing You Off Wednesday for September 22nd, 2021. What's Pissing You Off Wednesday is where I, Kevin McTaggart, the grumpiest comic in Vermont, rants about stuff on your behalf. If you want to know how to contribute to this podcast, read it in the show notes of either the YouTube video or the audio podcast. Anyway, let's get on to this week's episode. Peter Pardo is pissed off that his video about carrots exploding in the microwave has about 10 times more likes than his stand-up comedy act videos. How can I say this without insulting or saying this? How can I say this in the nicest way possible? I can't. You're not funny, Peter. I mean, some people like your stuff. Most don't. I would say write material, but you never do. So, when videos you post about exploding carrots garner more likes and views than your stand-up comedy videos, maybe that's a sign from the universe that you should just not do stand-up comedy anymore. Maybe you should just, go to comedy shows and be an audience member and just be that awkward person in the audience that the other comics point out for being a creepy asshole. Maybe that's what you should be doing. Maybe that's what should happen. Maybe that's that. Maybe I don't want to be the one to have to say this, but you never want to be the one to have to tell somebody that they're not funny. But I've known you since 2015, and if you're not going to write new material, then just be an audience member, especially when the videos of you posting exploding vegetables in the microwave garner more likes and views than your comedy material. That should be a sign. But hey, you know what? I don't want to tell anybody not to do stand-up comedy. So you keep doing whatever makes you happy, even though it makes everybody else fucking miserable. At New England Dad on Instagram is pissed off at Jim Breuer, stand-up comedian Jim Breuer. And I am pissed off at Jim Breuer as well. Because last week he stated that he wasn't going to have venues check vaccination cards or if they have like a negative test result or anything like that. Whereas all these other like entertainers and stuff are having that happen at their events. Like I went to a BC football game and they were doing that there. They were checking our vaccination cards. Or if we didn't have vaccination cards, we had to have had like a negative test or something like that. But Jim Brewer's not doing that at all because Jim Breuer doesn't give a shit about the people in attendance who are going to his shows. He just doesn't. Not in the middle of a virus pandemic, which is still, affecting thousands, millions of people, still killing thousands of people, most of which are not vaccinated. But he doesn't give a shit about that. He doesn't give a shit about that at all, apparently. He also went on Tucker Carlson. This was funny. He went on Tucker Carlson last week. And I'm sorry, but for me, when you become a guest on Tucker Carlson, I lose all respect for you. Not that I had much for him anyway. But he was talking on Tucker Carlson about how I'm not vaccinated. I got COVID. I'm fine. I don't need to be vaccinated. When in fact, actually, they say that you probably still should. That way, you'll be more protected. But if you want to be a dumbass and not get vaccinated, then don't get vaccinated. But still, When you're a public figure, an entertainer, you should look out for the lives of the people that come see your shows, because, oh, what if your comedy show becomes a super spreader event and people die from it, and then they'll never come see you again, And then, like, when all of your fans are dead, are you even a celebrity anymore? Nick Shepard is pissed off at his stupid neighbors that don't mind their own business. I hate that. Like, it would be one thing if, like, the neighbors were your family or something, but if these are just total, complete, busybody, nosy-ass neighbors who just need to be on everybody's business and tell you how to run your life when they probably suck at running their own fucking lives, it's just irritating when you have to go and move into someplace and having to deal with neighbors who are trying to make sure that you have the music, down too low. Turn down the music, or watch out for your kids, or something like that, or something. Just they need to mind their own business. They're too busy worrying about your business instead of their business. But something I try to find solace in is the fact that, like, yes, they're like nosy ass neighbors caring about so much about what you're doing when they're probably a fuck up. They're just a fuck up who just need to they make themselves feel better worrying about other people's problems when they need to stop being concerned about their neighbors' problems and focus on their own lives in their own apartment or whatever. Stop trying to, like, be so goddamn controlling or nosy or, just damn stupid, like Nick is saying. Like, what the hell is wrong with people? Like, just stop getting into other people's business, It's almost as if they have no other... These people that are nosy neighbors must have no other thing going on in their life if all they're doing is interfering in yours when you don't even know them in the first place. You don't even know them in the first place. And these stupid, nosy neighbors are just interfering in all your business when it's none of their damn business. And they're just being annoying. They're just being nosy and just minding your business, trying to be all up in your business. I don't know the details exactly, but it's seriously, these people need to get a life, because, like, nosy neighbors seem to be a thing a lot. Like, why the hell do they care about the people that live next to them? Unless the house is on fire, unless it burns, unless they're doing something that, like, affects you. Like, if you crash through their wall, something like that. And, like, I guess they can complain about loud music and stuff, but I mean, seriously, who gives a shit? Just turn your music up louder and stop being nosy. Because because you know what's going to happen with these nosy neighbors? They're going to be in trouble in their own apartment and screaming for help. And the neighbors that you've been harassing for years are going to ignore you because they think you're just trying to grab attention. So maybe you should just stop being nosy and just stop paying attention to what your neighbors are doing, because they don't give a shit what you're doing unless it involves you being a nosy damn neighbor. D-Craft is pissed off about people who park in her space in her apartment building and then disappear. Like, they park there and then, like, they never leave the space, even though they have to leave the space. I would just tow their ass. Seriously. Tow those people. If someone's parking in your apartment space, just call the number and have them towed immediately. Seriously, these apartment buildings, they have visitor spots. They're far away from the building. Why are they far away from the building? because the people who actually live in the building should have the closer spots. Okay? So if you're going to be some asshole douchebag who parks in an assigned apartment spot, you totally deserve to get your car towed. And I hope you have to spend like hundreds of dollars in paying for your car to get it back. Because like if you're going to be a dick and park in an assigned parking spot, don't be mad when you get your car towed, because you deserved it. You totally deserved it. Jessica is pissed off about meetings that start with, tell us something that you're grateful for. No. Unless it's some sort of meeting, unless you've been committed for a psychiatric admission, that should be meetings where, they can start off by asking, what are you grateful for? But if it's a work meeting and they want to start off with something that you're grateful for, I don't see how that's work related at all. That's kind of corny and cheesy and probably divides up the workplace even more than it already is. I don't care what other people are grateful for. Now, I'm a big proponent of the self-help movement, and the gratitude is a part of that. But that's for me, my personal stuff. I like to think about stuff that I'm grateful for, but I don't necessarily want to share it with other people. This goes along the lines of like things that you shouldn't talk about at work. Politics, religion, or things that you're grateful for. Because nobody else cares. Like, I think I've actually had scenarios where that's happened, where we talk about good news that's happened to us. And I hear people talking about all their good news, and I'm like, don't care. Can we just get through this? Because, I'm going to share something, but it's going to be lame. Having to tell people what I'm grateful for at work makes me feel terrible. I think when you have people say what they're grateful for in a work meeting, it's supposed to, brighten their mood, make them feel better. But when I do it, or if I would have to do it, I would feel worse because I can't think of anything. And also I'm thinking it's none of these people's business. I just want to come here and work. And yes, get along with people, be a smartass, be smartasses to each other, because when you're a smartass, you're not actually sharing all that much about your damn life. But no, I don't want us to have to go and be in a meeting where we have to tell us what we're grateful for, especially at work. If it's a work meeting, you shouldn't have to say that. But if you've been admitted for a psych admit, then you definitely just need to, deal with the fact that those questions are being asked, because you've got issues, dude. Here's another thing that people, say at meetings that, or in the workplace that pisses people off. Leslie hates when she hears somebody say, oh, we need to do this. When in fact, they actually mean, you all need to do this because I've only contributed by telling you that we need to do this. Yeah. If you're the person uttering, we need to do this, you better be doing it too. Seriously. Don't just tell us we need to do this. When we obviously doesn't mean you, because all you think you've contributed by doing it is by telling us that we need to do it. Contribute to it in some way other than telling us that it has to be done. I've had bosses like this before who have told us we need to do this, and it's never meant we, it's always us. Say it correctly, say you guys need to do this. It will still suck to hear, but then at least there isn't that twinge of you lying that we need to do this. You know, just don't lie to me when you say that you need to do this or we need to do this, because then I know you're not lying. But when you tell us we need to do this, I know that you're lying. And it's frustrating. And it just makes us not want to do that task even more, because we know that you're not going to be involved with it at all, because you're just a terrible boss, Kelly. Or Shannon, or Heather. Inside joke. Nobody will understand it. And nobody listens to this anyway. Kenneth is very pissed off that the WWE is no longer as amazing as it used to be. And I cannot agree more. It does suck. The WWE definitely is not as amazing as it used to be. They don't have those really big breakout stars anymore. You know, like the Cenas or the Rocks or the Stone Colds or the racist Hulk Hogans or anyone like that. It's just, it's depressing. Plus, they continue to insult our intelligence, you know, with their booking ideas. I know that they're pandering more towards children. Maybe because they're pandering more towards children, catering it more towards children, I really shouldn't watch it anymore. Even though it's on at late at night. Why aren't children asleep then anyway? It's stupid. It's stupid. And back to the whole, you know, not major superstars anymore. I don't think they want anyone to break loose from their company, you know? Or maybe they do. But, like, I, for one, could care less. If someone leaves, like, if Cena leaves, then he comes back, like, every couple years to have, like, a short little run, I'm going to grow tired of it more and more every time he shows up. Because I know he's just going to be there. And even if he, like, wins a world title, it's going to be very obnoxious to me. Because I don't think they should put the world title on part-time wrestlers like Brock Lesnar. Yes, I know that they're allegedly draws, but I don't give a shit. I want to give it to someone who's earned the championship. I like that the titles, the two major titles, are on Big E and Roman Reigns. Two wrestlers that are there, superstars. That's another thing to be pissed off with the WWE in another day. But these are superstars that are there every week and work hard every week. And that's who you should give your big titles to. Someone who's going to be there every week. You don't give it to Brock Lesnar, who's only going to show up once every 6 fucking months. Just start trying to build bigger, over-the-top characters. We need more Rocks and Austins and Cenas. I don't know how the hell you do that. I'm just saying what it's missing. And also stop insulting our goddamn intelligence. I'm also very glad that NCIS has moved to Mondays now on CBS, which means I don't have to watch all 3 hours of Raw, just 2 of them. At McTaggart Attack on Twitter is pissed off that whenever he types "and," it autocorrects to abs. Let me just say, I hate that too. That happens to me all the time. I'm sick and tired of when I'm like writing a post or a text or a Facebook message or a tweet and I think I'm typing and then I hit submit and I wrote abs. How does that happen? How does autocorrect let that happen? You know, what the hell did I do to have it, you know, change and to abs? How does that even make sense? Do I need to put a rule now in that says when I type abs, I mean and? Because, I mean, there's no chance of me ever probably writing the word abs. But I'm like, is it because my fingers just type too fast that the B and the S are too close to the N and the D? Is that what's happening here? But shouldn't autocorrect fix stuff like that? Am I just typing too fast and not paying attention to what I'm typing? But why? But like, wouldn't autocorrect keep it as and, or try to figure out that I'm trying to spell and instead of abs? I know that I should probably look over my tweets and my texts and my Facebook messages before I type them, but I think that when I think that I'm typing the word, why should I have to check it? Wouldn't it fix it for me? Can't my iPhone fix it for me? I'm recording this through my iPhone, so I'm talking to my iPhone directly now. Please, iPhone, stop changing my ands to abs. Realize that I'm actually typing the word and. I don't have any abs to talk about right now. If I was totally physically fit, and I had actual abs that you could actually see, instead of a beer guts, dad bod, even though I'm not a dad, I would totally type abs, but I have absolutely no reason to type abs right now. So just assume that all my abs that I'm typing is actually and. Thank you, iPhone, and thank you at McTaggart Attack for that wonderful contribution. At Snuggly Smug on Twitter is pissed off about dick pics. I don't understand people that send dick pics. I mean, what the hell is the point of sending a picture of the ugliest part of you? Unless it's the most attractive part of you. And in that case, why would I want anything to do with you if you're uglier than your penis? I don't understand that. Why do men send dick pics? You don't see women send vagina pics, or is that a thing? Do they actually do that? Do women send pictures of their hoo-ha? Or is it just men sending pictures of their dick? It's just dick pics, right? There's no vagina pics, right? I hope not. I think dick pics are a lot more popular than vagina pics. I mean, I think if a woman was going to send pictures of anything of her, it would be her boobs. Which I think would be fine. But dick pics. Who the fuck cares what your dick looks like? It's just there to function. It's there to do things. I don't care what it looks like. Unless it's like cut or uncut or whatever. But you can tell us over the message. You don't have to show me what it looks like. How is that supposed to turn me on by you sending me a picture of your dick? If anything, you send me a picture of your dick is going to turn me off. Especially if you're uglier than your dick. Thanks for watching this week's episode of What's Pissing You Off Wednesday for September 22nd, 2021. Hope you enjoyed it. Click the subscribe button on YouTube or like the video or write a review on Apple Podcasts. Do all of those things or some of those things to help out the podcast. I will appreciate it. But have a happy What's Pissing You Off Wednesday, everybody.